Hey you guys, so this was supposed to be a live video, but I just spent way too long trying to figure out why Periscope would not let me share to Twitter. It wouldn't let me invite people. It was showing 0 people were in attendance, which never happens. I don't go live that often, but I always have some form of audience. So I figured I would just make this video, put it up on my YouTube, put it up as a video on my Facebook, and just share it out in those ways. So, as you know by now, even if you're new to this channel, if you could see behind me, I was born with a disability and I'm in a wheelchair. I'm also from New York. And as I'm sure you know, Governor Cuomo basically just allowed abortion to occur up until the 9th month. And to be able to successfully kill babies that have survived abortion. Argue with me all you want. I've watched enough credible sources that I follow on this that have thoroughly read the law, and I'm disgusted and sickened, but I am not surprised. It's New York, and we have gone so far left. It's just disgusting to me. So, I wrote some things down because I really want to get deep into this because it's so personal to me. So, 65% of babies with disabilities are aborted yearly. The parents of babies expected to be born with a disability are all, as far as any I've met, interviewed, questioned, what have you, are all given the option to abort. My parents were given the option. As I said, everybody else whom I have asked was also given the option, solely based on your child is going to be disabled, what do you want to do? Not, you know, oh, your child is going to be disabled, but it's okay because, hi, here I am. You know, that's why I speak out so passionately about this, because I want people to see the side of it that is successful and not scary. And I'm not one who has gone into surgeries to be normal. I've had many surgeries. I've had over 8 surgeries in my childhood from the day I was born. Some were to see if they could fix things to make me walk, but honestly, after a while, after it was my decision, I was like, you know what, no, I'm happy the way that I am, and it's fine. Doctors will tell you worst case scenarios a lot of the time. So if they're going to tell you your life as a mother will be at risk, I'm sorry, I think early birth should be an option for that. Abortion should not be on the table for that. I know somebody who their life was at stake. They gave birth early. The baby was, I think, between 1 to 3 pounds, and he's fine today. I'm tired of these worst case scenarios scaring the shit out of parents. This I did not know. Like I said, I've been talking about this with a lot of people who were born with a disability and what their parents were told. Some babies are born with infection and the families are presented with the option to just let them die. This one I just saw for myself the other day. Many cave to quote-unquote spare the child of a challenging life. News fucking flash. Life is always going to be challenged. It's going to suck at times. There's going to be times you don't know what the fuck to do. But as long as you're, and I'm going to use it like I always do, use the phrase from my friend Brendan Dilly, as long as you're still breathing, you keep going, period. This is also something that I just recently discovered, that Norma McCovey, Roe in Roe versus Wade, regretted her abortion and regretted her participation in making the law happen. Planned Parenthood creator wanted to get rid of the minorities and disabled babies first. Like I said, look it up. All of this information is out there. It is not meant to sway one way or another politically. This is a completely human issue to me. It directly affects me. I'm just saying, I'm giving you the facts. Many physicians and many nurses have been speaking out, and they actually sell the body parts, and they will tell you either undercover recorded or even just regular recorded. Alternative clinics for abortions are being created because the doctors will not be okay with this late-term abortion. That's part of the new law in New York, is that you don't have to have an abortion with a legitimate doctor. So we're just going to go back to the old days when you did it by some crook and, like, almost died. That sounds fair. It's now legal to kill a baby that survives abortion. I know people who have had abortions. I've known people who have had a DNC. I was in the room, not the operating room, but in the room before and after a friend of mine's surgery. I think it's 8 or 9 years ago now. She had to have a DNC because the baby died inside of her, and it was a little too far along to just naturally, pass it, I guess you would say. She still thinks about it to this day. It's still painful to her. And with all of the mental health jargon in this law, it's almost like, oh, I'm getting nervous in my 8th month. Let me just kill the baby because I don't want to have it now. And as I said, I did a survey in a bunch of my disabled groups that I'm in, and most, like 99% of the people in there, whether they're a parent of a disabled child or they're disabled themselves and their parents, were given the option to abort just solely based on disability. Forget, letting the child exceed expectations. That the fact is that doctors don't even know enough about disabilities, period, to make that determination. So why don't you learn more about it, and then you won't be scaring the shit out of so many parents and telling them that there's a chance that their child could be a vegetable or die, when that's not the case. Or if it is, it's extremely, extremely rare. Somebody who had clubbed feet, that their son had clubbed feet, the parents had to actually think about whether or not they were going to abort the baby. Maybe it's because I'm disabled from the knee down, paralyzed. I couldn't give a shit what my feet look like. Unless you have a foot fetish, why are you going to abort a baby just because they have clubbed feet? This pisses me off. Really, really pisses me off. You're not even giving babies a chance to prove doctors who know nothing wrong. And I do want to push for educating doctors on disabilities, on every single disability. Because the fact is, 60, somebody said 70, but all I've ever heard is 65%, but I'll say 60 to 70% of babies with disabilities, specifically mine, spina bifida, are aborted every year. That to me just means not enough of us who are thriving are speaking out. I know many people with disabilities who are depressed, who do not like their life, but the fact that they're doing so much that they're not seeing and they're not being grateful for, that can help. If they learn to come to terms with it and realize their purpose is to embrace life, period. Because nobody is a mistake. God does not make mistakes. You're here for a purpose the way that you are, and I feel like if more people who are happy and disabled, but also the people who aren't, if they actually came to terms with their disability and became more grateful for it, they could be like, hey, look, I'm alive, but I'm also happy. And I'm not suffering. Because the fact is, and I know a lot of people are going to push back on this, but those of you who aren't, please speak out as well. It is our choice how we view our lives and what perspective we decide to see. Every life is a blessing, and I don't care how much you think you're suffering, somebody is suffering more. Look at the topic we're talking about. These babies that aren't even given the chance. If you're an adult or you're even a child who can openly speak to your parents, you have a choice. You have a choice of how you're going to embrace this life. If not for yourself, if you're really still in that dark place, do it for the babies that don't have a chance. Because it's just sick to me. I mean, I'm against abortion, period, but this new law is flat out murder. And you can't tell me the way that things are loosely written in it that there aren't going to be cases where, first of all, you're not even giving the chance to the child to exceed expectations. That's proven, number one. Second of all, and that goes for the quality of life too, and whatever people are throwing in my face now, oh, it's for people who, I forgot what they're saying, but it's basically if the baby is expected to maybe die in the first few years or something like that. Well, newsflash, I had a 50-50 chance of living, period. I don't go by percentages, statistics. Doctors are not God. And you're taking God out of everything now. Literally everything. With this. I'm pissed. I'm really, really pissed. And honestly, if you are pregnant, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but now I'm extremely passionate about it. If you or someone you know, or if you can guide me in the right direction, to pregnant women who know that they are going to have a disabled baby and they're nervous or contemplating abortion or anything in between, please put me in touch. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not. But I need to give these people hope that their child, I'm not unique, their child can turn out this way. and like many other people who I know with disabilities, who are happy, who are thriving, who are their own version of normal, because honestly, there's no such thing, and I say it all the time. There is no such thing as normal. I don't care if you're up walking or whatever. And I need to reach these moms before it's too late. I need to reach the moms who have had a baby with a disability and it's still very new to them and they're nervous and they need just reassurance. Like I've said before, my parents were put in touch with somebody who had a baby with spina bifida, which is my disability, when I was born, and all the mother did was cry and say that she would cry with her then, like, I think, teen child about all the things that the child couldn't and wouldn't be able to do. I want to put a stop to that. I would never say that to a parent. All I would say, if you never actually reach out to me and all you do is watch this video, all I would say to start with, before getting into your personal case, if we ever did speak, but as a general message, do not underestimate God. Do not underestimate your instincts. Do not underestimate your child. Forget statistics. Forget the fear that is being instilled in you. You raise that baby the same way that you would any other baby, to believe in themselves, to do whatever they want to do in life, and to embrace differences. That is a beautiful thing. Please reach out to me. I'm going to put all of my information in the description box. My website, blog, services, my social media, my email. Just write to me. And if you're watching this and happen to be some sort of news source with all of this going on in New York and the whole country and world is talking about it right now, please have me on as a success story, please. Because there's more I can say. I can answer any questions, and just, I really, really strongly feel the urge to speak out about this because it's so personal to me. Okay, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. There are many other videos that I've made about my disability, about, you know, how I take care of myself and, you know, mind, body, spirit, you know, what I eat, how I work out. I've danced with Val from Dancing with the Stars. I've worked out with Paulie Calafieri from Big Brother and The Challenge. Life does not have to suck, no matter what your challenges are. Thank you guys again, and I will hopefully talk to many of you soon.